So my name is Butler, and the purpose of this board is to talk about fertility, particularly in relation to the post-quota era, and then separately about sex semen. So the post-quota era, the importance of compact calving is going to be magnified. By compact calving, I mean having a distinct period of calving followed by a distinct period of breeding. This image up here is showing the calendar year broken up into short periods for calving, with all cows calved before the breeding season begins, then a concentrated period of breeding, and then all cows being dried off from November in through December. The target for a seasonal calving system is to have 90% of the cows calved in 6 weeks and all cows calved within 12 weeks. So you can see here we're seeing that cows start calving in late January, there's a rush of calving in February, and everything is finished then by the month of April. Breeding begins in late April, and the target here is to get as many cows pregnant as quickly as possible. So high submission rates, high conception rates in late April and May, and the end of the breeding period being taken care of by natural service bulls. Logically, to have a 12-week calving period, you must have a 12-week breeding period. So now, this time of the year, the start of July, it's time to start thinking about taking the bulls out and restricting the breeding period to 12 weeks. If the breeding period currently is longer than 12 weeks, put a plan in place over a number of years to get it back towards 12 weeks. So the big advantage here of having a concentrated period of breeding is you get all these cows calved early in the year, allowing long lactations, average lactation length for the herd about 285 plus days, allowing all the cows to be dried off together, and no milking then during the second half of December through the first half of January. What are the benefits of compact calving? More milk from grass. In the post-quota era, this is going to be very important as it'll be the main way to control costs on the farm. One of the main things that affects cyclicity on dairy cows is how long they're calved. So obviously if the herd is calved longer, more cows will be cycling before mating start date. Where synchrony is required, that synchrony treatment is going to be more successful because, again, one of the main things that affects the response to synchrony is how long cows are calved. And most importantly, from a seasonal breeding system, you're going to have higher 3-week submission rate and higher first service conception rate. And that's critical here for driving this high pregnancy rate establishment. So what are the main things that are going to affect the success of a seasonal calving system? So in a way, compact calving feeds into compact calving. So this top chart here is showing how long cows are calved at mating start date. So the first bar is more than 12 weeks calved, 9 to 12 weeks, 6 to 9, 3 to 6, and less than 3. And on this axis here is showing the 6-week in calf rate. And you can clearly see that the cows that are calved more than 6 weeks, these cows have the highest 6-week in calf rate. And as you get closer and closer to cows that are only calved a short period before mating start date, your conception rates or 6-week in calf rate is going to decline hugely. And obviously, if cows have not yet calved at mating start date, they have almost no chance of being in calf in the first 6 weeks of the breeding season. Also, a major management factor is body condition score. So this is data from a large study separating cows into less than 2.75 body condition score units, 2.75 to 3, and greater than 3. And again, 6-week in calf rate on this axis here. And it's very clear that as you improve body condition score, you get a major increase in 6-week in calf rate. Another thing that farmers need to improve is the genetic merit for fertility on the farms. So we set up a study here a number of years ago where cows had very similar genetic merit for milk production. They were all Holstein Friesian type cattle, but they had either very good or very poor genetic merit for fertility traits. This is the fertility performance. Similar 3-week submission rate, slightly better for the Fert Plus cows, or high fertility line. Major differences in conception rate to first service. So you're looking at about 20% or more difference in conception rate to first service. When you add these two together, 6-week in calf rate difference, over 70% for the Fert Plus cows and 40% for the Fert Minus cows. This type of cow cannot be maintained in a compact calving system. And also at the end of the breeding season, better fertility performance for the high fertility cows. Importantly, milk production was similar, no difference in milk solids or milk volume, huge differences in fertility. And going forward, it'll be important to target a herd fertility subindex of over €120. Now, it'll take a number of years to get there, but this is a target that needs to be achieved. The second thing to talk about is sex semen. I suppose the first question is, why are we interested in it? The main pro with sex semen is that you're guaranteed 90% gender bias. So with conventional semen, 50% chance of male calf, 50% chance of a female calf. With sex semen, you're shifting that to 90% chance of a heifer calf. That brings with it reduced calving difficulty because heifer calves are lighter. If there's an interest in Jersey crossbreeding, this is obviously very attractive because you're doing away with the unwanted male calf. Because you're doing away with the male dairy calf, there's a capacity to increase the beef output from the dairy herd. For herds growing from within, biosecurity becomes lesser of a problem because you can expand from within your own herd. And it obviously also leads to faster expansion. So within a dairy herd that wants to expand, sex semen allows you to generate more heifers and therefore faster, more profitable expansion. What are the cons? Historically, we've been always associated sex semen with reduced fertility. The majority of sex semen used around the world is frozen, and that is associated with a drop in conception rate. The sexing process itself is expensive, and therefore sex semen also always carries increased costs. So in this spring just gone by, we carried out a major trial jointly run by the Irish Cattle Breeding Federation and Teagasc in collaboration with a number of industry partners. So a trial was conducted in April and May this spring. In total, 394 farms were recruited onto the trial. This involved 110 AI technicians around the country, and in total 15,200 inseminations were recorded. This was approximately 60% on cows and 40% on heifers. 9 Holstein Friesian sires were used, 3 bulls per day. These were egg-sorted, 90% purity. We had 4 treatments: a conventional treatment that was unsorted semen, and then we had 3 sex semen treatments. A fresh semen treatment at 2 million per straw, a sex semen treatment at 1 million per straw, and a frozen treatment at 2 million per straw. These are the non-return rates, and it was roughly 1,200 cows per treatment on this so far. And you can see that the conventional semen was the best, followed by sex fresh 2 million, and then sex fresh 1 million, and sex frozen 2 million being largely the same. At the moment, we have about 200 cows scanned to confirm pregnancy. And again, you can see that there's a drop in the drop from between non-return rate to conception rate is about 5 to 10%. So again, the conventional fresh and the sex fresh 2 million roughly the same, sex fresh 1 million, and sex frozen being roughly the same as well. One other thing that was of interest in this was looking at bull variation. So again, this is the conventional treatment: sex fresh 2 million, sex fresh 1 million, and the sex frozen. This bull seems to perform reasonably similar across all treatments. This bull was similar for the conventional fresh and the 2 sex fresh treatments, but then a major drop for sex frozen. And this bull here was okay for conventional, but at a major drop for all the sex semen treatments. So the key message from the sex semen research is that it's now possible to achieve roughly similar conception rates with sex semen as it is with conventional. There does appear to be major bull variation, and that's a challenge for us in the future. Key message from this side of the board is the importance of compact calving and how this is going to impact profitability and the efficiency of the dairy system in the coming years.